Have you ever felt like you're failing at manifestation despite all of your efforts? You are not alone. I have felt this so many times that I was failing. I have felt so discouraged. There are times where I did fail at manifestation, and I want to give you hope that just to keep persevering through that. It doesn't matter how many times you fail, you can still get to that dream. In today's video, we are diving deep into the hidden secrets of the classic book, Think and Grow Rich. We are going to dive into the preface only today. By the end of this video, you will understand why you have been struggling and how to turn it around using the insights from the classic novel, Think and Grow Rich. Stay tuned to discover the secret that transformed my own manifestation journey and can absolutely do the same for you. So why are we doing this? Well, I want to be totally transparent and honest with you. I am doing this for myself because I have been totally failing at manifestation. And I want to go through the book step by step and kind of catalog my journey. And if you are in the same boat where you have been trying to reach your goals, your manifestation dreams, and you're just so discouraged and failing, then this could help you along that journey as well. The book, Think and Grow Rich, has so many gems of wisdom in it, and it was written during the Depression. This is really interesting to help people be able to get out of that mindset and be able to create using their minds and get out of that depressive state that the world was in at the time. So what I want to do is take the same idea, but use it for anyone who's failing and struggling to have their manifestations come into the physical realm. The reason Think and Grow Rich is so important is because it goes beyond the typical idea of needing to work hard and be persistent to be successful. This book focuses on the psychological struggles that we all have in having to face those fears and the lack of self-belief. It not only goes through them, but then it gives you practical strategies on how to overcome these things. And I think that this has been for myself the largest block in manifestation was fears, limiting beliefs, including my limiting self-belief, and trauma. So that's why I want to go through this novel, and each week we will tackle one chapter. So we are going to discuss how to harness the power of thought, how to create a burning desire, how to get very clear on exactly what you want, the role of faith that plays in manifestation, and the importance of perseverance. By the end of this video, you will have a deeper understanding of how to use these principles, actually apply them to get past those psychological barriers and really manifest your dreams. So every week I am going to read the chapter and bring out the most important main points of that chapter for us to focus on. I'm also going to just go over my personal experience from that chapter and where I'm at with my manifestation and my goals. And hopefully you can follow along with me. So definitely like, subscribe, and share with anyone who is struggling with reaching their goals. But as you follow along with me week by week and we dive into the novel, then it's kind of like an interactive study for us to manifest using the book, right? So Don't forget to like and subscribe and hit that bell for all notifications. But today we are going to go into the main points of just the preface. So let's get into the first main point. Point number 1 is revolutionizing education. And I have 3 kids myself, so I see this as being very important for my life and for theirs. And Napoleon Hill was such a visionary. He truly believed that the principles that he uncovered could revolutionize our education system. And I agree with that, you know, because I still didn't know what I wanted to be in life until just a few years ago. And I'm 43 years old. And so when I read that, that made total sense to me. You know, instead of having this just learning the same subjects for years on end and having standardized tests, if we taught our kids how to think, dream, and create, it would completely revolutionize the world. And I find that, you know, doing my biggest problem when I was in school was exactly that. Like, I did not know what I wanted because I never had the opportunity to try anything else. It was just math, science, you know, PE. You know, you probably went through school. So when you get out of school, I remember saying, I don't know what I want to do. I don't know what I want to do. So then you go into college, you spend all this money to go through a program that you're just picking because you think you might like it, and then you find out you don't like it. And then you know, you're just stuck in that position of doing something that you don't like, or you try to change things or go a different route. And it's just the time, the money, the energy it takes, and then you not being able to live the life you want becomes very frustrating, right? So I think that if we teach our kids at a younger age to try different professions, to experience different real world situations, then they may have a clearer idea of what they want. So to the main point number 2, if you have ever been discouraged or you have ever failed so bad that it felt like it took the very soul out of you, if you were ever handicapped by an illness or a physical affliction, in the book and the preface, he's saying that there is still hope, because there are people who have gone down this road and failed and were discouraged and faced all those ailments, but still were able to reach success in what they wanted. And so I love that message, that you're going to face these things. You have to. And it's going to be failure, it's going to be disappointment, but yet to still continue to keep going. So perseverance is very, very important. And this, you know, this manifestation journey is not for the weak. It is for the truly, the strong mind, the strong-hearted, the strong physical body, everything. It takes a lot from you. So, okay, so that's number 2. And I just wanted to say that in my journey for manifestation, when I really started going at it, I have failed so many times. And there are some things that I have let go because I didn't want to continue, but there are some things that I haven't let go in 8 years. And so I just want to say that there is hope, because some of those things that I didn't let go of have manifested. But I will tell you the secret that switched for me after we get through the main points. Okay, so That's number 2, and that's really important. But number 3 is the power of an idea. So he says that all achievements, sorry about that, okay. So let's see where we're at here. I'm just reading my notes here. Okay. So the power of idea is the third main point. Okay, so we have 3 main points, and the third one is all achievements, all earned riches, they start with an idea. Now, that idea is obviously your thoughts, but you have to be very clear on what you want first, right? It doesn't matter what it is, but as long as you're clear about what you want, then, you know, you can have the idea come, right? So it's the foundation of manifestation. And in the preface, it is exaggerated a few times that you need to know what you want. If you can conceive it and you can believe it, then you can achieve it. And for this third point, this is one that for myself has been very difficult, and where the shift of my mindset came, and it was that I really was in this failure mindset. I was thinking that no matter what I did, it was not going to work. And you can, like, I can tell you that I was in that mindset, but I was really like, I felt that deep within me that, like, why even try? Because it's just not going to work. Because I had failed so much and I had almost given up. And then I'm not exactly sure what switched in me, but I just have perseverance and I wasn't going to give up. And so I was able to switch that thinking. It wasn't even thinking. This was really in the feeling of it, that, like, I had to switch my mindset on failure totally. And I started looking at failure as success. When I started looking at my failures as successes, that's when things changed for me, because I was able to say, oh my gosh, I really am successful. Because all of those extreme failures, all of those disappointing moments really taught me so much about what I really wanted, what I didn't want. But when I started shaping how I felt about failure, not just thought, but how I felt about it, that it was success, then stuff started happening for me where I got what I wanted this time. So that was a huge change for me. And I do want to bring up one other point, which is, you know, he says in the preface that there's no such thing as something for nothing. And I believe that to be true. And when you're asking for these things, if you don't already have it, that means that something internally must change, because the universal law is always at work, which is as within, so without. And so if for some reason, whatever you're wanting, something internally must change. And that's why this book is so incredible, because it goes through all of the internal fears and failures and setbacks that you need to face. And it's taken me 8 years to face them all, but I want to go through a lot of them with you and just face them, and maybe, you know, we can start manifesting quicker together, because I'm willing to be vulnerable and look at these things and face them. And it's a hard thing to do, and it's all an internal game, but that's it. And I also want to say that this whole series that I'm doing was an idea, because I really felt like I was so tired of not achieving what I wanted. And so I started reading Think and Grow Rich again. And as I was going through it, I was like, you know, what if we just did it together as like an interactive book study? And to me, I'm just going to, I know that if it was me 8 years ago, I would have loved to have gone through this with someone. And so that's why I'm doing it. It's like I'm looking at myself from 8 years ago and saying like, listen, you don't have to go through all the extreme stuff that I did, because we can actually look at these things and face them and work through them together. All right, so here's what I want you to do for the next week with me. If you are gonna go on this Think and Grow Rich journey with me, and you really want it, like nobody's business, then I would ask you to get very, very clear in the next week on what you want. And it doesn't matter what it is. Don't, you know, criticize yourself, just write it down. That way, when we start going through the first chapter, you are very clear on what you want, and you can just go from there. So just get very clear on whatever it is you want. Okay, so that would be your homework for this week. Now, I just want to summarize the main points, and hopefully this can assist you for this week as well. All right, so revolutionizing education. I believe that one of the reasons why, it doesn't matter how old you are, you're not reaching your goals, it's because we're not even taught how to reach our goals. We're not taught to get clear on what we want and to be an explorer and just go try things and have ideas come to us. We're not taught to think and grow rich as kids, so it's not your fault. I want to say that because that is the most important thing for point one to me, is like, so we default into what we know, and that is, okay, go get a job, or, you know, go do something I don't like, because I feel like I have to do that. And that's not the truth. So it's not your fault if you are struggling. And I mean, all of us would want to have a financially beautiful, abundant life, right? And why don't we? Right? Like, why don't we? That's the greatest question. It doesn't make sense. If you have the elites out there, why don't they teach how to be that? Yeah. Okay. So point number 2 is that reframe that failure idea in your mind, because you can say all day, like I said, oh yeah, it's okay, I failed and all this, but like when you really feel deep inside like hurt and sad, or like something's wrong with you because you're not able to reach your goal. I struggled with this one with my weight a lot. I kind of beat myself up and I was very sad and gave up so many times. And, but I just want to say, like, it's hope in the face of failure. And it is reframing that failure to say, you know what, I'm going to look at all of my failures as a success. So the last time I failed, where's the lesson there? Okay. And number 3 is remember that you have to be clear on what you want so that the idea for the creation can come to you. So all achievements, all earned riches start with an idea. And of course, that's if you know exactly what you want. So that's basically to sum up the principles. I would love for you to share in the comments if you're excited to go through this with me, what your experience is. I just want to call out the failure. I want to call out the fears. I want to go over this because I know for myself that was the hardest journey, and feeling so alone in that. Like, everyone else was manifesting or reaching their goals, getting what they wanted, and yet what was wrong with me? Right? So like, there was nothing wrong with me. And that it's in the feeling. Like, I really put it into feeling. And so I want to bring it all out and just say, you know what? It's okay to feel like that. It is definitely okay to feel like that, but to know that, like, you failed at something or you didn't achieve it, but what is the lesson that you need to learn to move forward to achieve it? So it truly is a success along the way. So reframing that. So stick with me next week. We are going to go over chapter 1, which is the power of thought, and I will bring out the main points for that and get very clear on what you want, and then join me next week. So thank you so much. If you haven't already, like and subscribe. Make sure you do that so that you get notifications and can see all of these videos for the Think and Grow Rich series. All right, I hope you have a great week. Bye.